What's up everyone, it's Karen here for another video. So today we are going to be talking about the Flash review. So yeah, um, this isn't going to be like my last Flash review, because I just want to do that just because I just noticed some of these Easter eggs. That's the main reason why I did that sort of review where I broke it into 3 parts. This time I'm not going to do that. Instead I'm going to be doing just a main review, no splitting parts in it. So yeah, I'll talk about certain things like positives and negatives of this episode, but I won't be talking about Easter eggs just because. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into the review. Alright, so it starts off with Cicada walking into his lair, and we see a flashback to what happened off screen on what happened with Gridlock and Cicada fight for a bit, and then it shows that Cicada's dagger can somehow absorb Mena's powers to neutralize their powers temporarily, for him to give him enough time to like beat them down for a bit so he can kill them, so it's easier to kill these Menas. So because it doesn't sound like Cicada has any powers, at least not that we've seen so far, because it looks like all that's coming from the dagger. I mean, we did see him later in the episode where he uses it kind of like a boomerang, or like Mjolnir, kind of like what Cisco said. But yeah, so it looks like he can control it. I don't know if that's telepathically or if he has like some kind of magnet or something. But anyway, yeah, we see him in his like little lair slash job area, because it looks like it's not even a real lair, because he keeps it in some like work locker. Because we do see this other guy talk to him, say see you somewhere, I can't recall where. But yeah. And then later it cuts to Team Flash kind of discussing about the 2049 incident, or well, Nora and Barry show them the 2049 newspaper, and well, Iris is kind of just there saying, so what? What's the big deal? Or like, we'll get to it when we get to it. That kind of annoyed me a little bit, but yeah. So we do see Cisco is still pretty much still broken up about the whole Gypsy thing. About his breakup with Gypsy. Yeah, nothing too much going there. It's kind of like a Cisco Ralph Caitlyn side story, because we do see that Ralph wants Cisco's help to find the death certificate, but he's not focused. So they go on like this little side story, which we'll get into that in a little bit. Later we see Barry and Nora at CSI, do some CSI work after Blocked kills some guy and steals like some stash of weapons to sell on the black market, it looks like. And this is kind of like the aftermath of that. We see that her powers can like turn people into like these meat cube things. So we see Barry and Nora kind of have like a little cute moment when they're working at CSI. We see Iris is a little bit jealous. I did like how Iris just comes into the crime scene, and Captain Sing's like, can we close up the crime scene? I really like that. I thought that was really funny and really good use of humor, and kind of like an inside joke almost, because like I don't know if it's a slight nod to Star Labs, where there's like no security there whatsoever. And even back in season 1, I think Iris still was able to get into the crime scenes pretty easily. So yeah, we see Iris back to reporting, and I'm really hoping they stick to that this season. Yeah, nothing too much to go off of that. She does interview somebody, which we'll get into that in a little bit. We cut to we just see Iris talking to Captain Singh about Gridlock, and nothing too much to go on there. They think it's a meta, but we already know that it's not, because well, we the audience already saw what happened to Gridlock. But yeah, we still don't really have a 100% guarantee if Cicada is a meta, because I don't know that much about Cicada, to be completely honest with you guys. So, yeah. If you guys know anything about Cicada, drop it in the comment section below. All I know is that I think he had like a cult in the comics, and that every life he took, like, gave him like an extra 100 years or something. Or he was not necessarily immortal, but, it could like extend his life or something. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But, yeah. So then we cut to, the Ralph, Cisco, Caitlyn's side story, or Ralph and Caitlyn try to help Cisco get over the gypsy breakup, because then he can get back into focus. Yeah. And we see the book of Ralph, and the page of Ralph, because apparently Cisco's not ready for that. And yeah, it's just really, really hilarious. And we do see kind of Cisco go over these different steps in these pages. Some of them they don't do, obviously. And we do see Cisco go over this makeover, and it was honestly really funny, but also as a story standpoint, if you like skipped all that, you wouldn't really miss anything. They just go over that side story, kind of give Cisco a makeover. And his hairstyle did kind of remind me of Reverb from Season 2. If you kind of don't know, Reverb was Cisco's evil doppelganger from Earth 2, back in Season 2, if you remember that. Because it was in one episode and one episode only, so yeah. Then we do see Iris talk to this officer, who was one of the officers that was transferring Gridlock. Yeah, nothing too much go over that. Just she has an interview with this officer who basically almost looks like he's completely paralyzed. And yeah, nothing too much to go off of that. Then we do see more of that side story that Cisco does want to get this over with and revive, but then we do see that Caitlyn is avoiding the death certificate about her father. And yeah, we just have more kind of character development, but kind of like pointless side story to this episode. Alright, then we do see not necessarily side story, it's just more Nora Barry development about Barry basically homeschooling them, homeschooling Nora, and kind of going back to basics, not necessarily on speedster training, but also just like physics and stuff, just like normal like schoolwork. Because we'll get into the schooling later, because that happens later. We're gonna still talk more about the interview. Is that the security guard doesn't remember much, but that it basically shows that he was just knocked out, basically. So yeah, that he doesn't remember much, and that he was just knocked out, everything went black and stuff like that. Then later we do see another side story with Joe and Cecile. Cecile wants to use that old cerebral inhibitor on her daughter, because she wants to kind of know how what her daughter is thinking, because she was just so used to that and her powers are going away. So yeah, we do see more CSI work with Nora, like DNA analysis, and thought it was a little interesting that Nora didn't know that Barry went to prison, but then again, it's the Flash Museum, not the Barry Allen Museum. Because I thought that in the future, at first when I heard that people in the future knew that Barry Allen was the Flash, but I guess not. Okay, later we do see XS and Barry as the Flash fight Blocked, her identity is Vanessa Jensen. So yeah. So we see the first round go down. XS is a little too overconfident, and she gets herself trapped, which Barry has to go save her, and Block escapes. So yeah. Then this leads into the homeschooling, but we'll get into that in a little bit. We do see Cisco and Ralph, them back at Star Labs. We do have a little funny moment about Cisco is kind of like zoning out, and Ralph says "Honch second," and I thought that scene was just hilarious. But yeah, And it does go. They do go more into depth about Block's powers, how her cubes are like too dense to for a speedster to phase. So yeah, I thought that was a good explanation because when Nora got stuck, she basically already knows how to phase because she learned that in the previous episode. So yeah, then we lead into the homeschooling where Barry and Nora are going over basics. Nora is basically trying to impress Barry, and yeah, she tries to throw a lightning bolt, but it kind of backfires, and she accidentally throws it at Barry. And yeah, we have that little talk with Joe about the how Nora is rushing in. She's kind of in over her head, and she's keep going up and beyond when she's not supposed to. We get that little bonding moment about Barry being reminded that he was like that when he was younger, and also we'll get into more Nora and Barry development. We do see Iris investigating a police video of the gridlock, which I was a little bit curious about because I'm pretty sure even if Iris is a journalist, that's still going over police property. I'm pretty sure that's not really that legal, but you know, it's a TV show. What are you gonna do? So yeah, this is the first time we hear the cicada like breathing noise that will kind of lead into the ending part of the episode. And then after that is the Barry and Joe talk, because I kind of went out of order because some of my notes are out of order. Alright, and during the Barry and Joe talk, we do get a slight reference to the Flash Museum, how basically Joe tells about how Nora's hero is Barry, and how Barry, all the information on Barry, or I guess the Flash, is, well, in the Flash Museum, and talks about how there are statues of the Flash on pedestals, and basically all that Nora is trying to do is impress her hero, and yeah, that also leads into some more Cecile development because of course that wraps up that little side story of the episode. Joe's speech, Cecile did hear that too because she was behind the wall. Don't know why she was behind there, but you know, it's a TV show. Then we do have the Caitlin and Cisco talk at Jitters about the death certificate, why Caitlin's avoiding the death certificate, and we do see that finally Cisco seems like he's getting over Gypsy, or at least starting to. So yeah, I guess that wraps up that little side story. Then we lead into more Nora and Barry development before the I guess final fight of the episode, where Nora sees footage of Barry's fails as the Flash back in season 1, like how his first time on the treadmill, and when he was training to fight against Girder back in season 1 with the training dummy. I thought that was kind of cool. And we still see that Nora is still resenting Iris because when they are tracking down Blocked, when she's cheering, Nora seems very like annoyed, I guess, or resentment, whatever, however you use that term. But yeah, then we get to see the round 2 of Blocked versus XS and Flash, and well, they obviously win. And I really did like that how Barrett was trapped in XS basically gets the spotlight, and I really like the, I guess, stunts that she was doing, like all those flips and stuff, and I really enjoyed that. And Blocked is seemingly captured for like 2 seconds before Cicada kills her. And yeah, that's basically all that, because Cicada throws the dagger right through Block's throat, and then we get to see that big fight between Barry, Ralph, and Cisco, because Barry tells Nora to take Block to a hospital to see if they could save her, and yeah. So yeah, we do see them attempt to fight, but they're getting their asses beat because Cicada's dagger drains power. So yeah, or at least dampens them or blocks them, because his dagger is acting, at least how I see it, his dagger is acting like a portable power dampener. So yeah, that's kind of a thing that I noticed in the episode. And this is just giving me flashbacks back to season one, how Barry is just relying too much on his powers and how he needs to learn how to fight in situations just like this. In fact, he almost dies in this episode because Cicada's right on top of him with his dagger, about to drive it through his chest before Nora stops and yells "Dad," which Cicada hesitates. And my theory is that Cicada lost his daughter, maybe lost his family, but if not just his daughter, but I'm pretty sure he lost his family in some instant, whether that is due to a meta attack, or what I'm thinking of is that Cicada's family was killed by falling fragments from the Starlab satellite. That's a theory because in a photo that I think you can find like on images or something, on Google Images or something, it says part of Cicada's dagger has the lab of Star Labs logo because it's in the same font. So yeah, that basically semi confirms that the Starlab satellites, parts of the Starlab satellites fragments are a part of the dagger. So I really like that. So that's probably why he hesitate, because he knows what it's like to lose a daughter. So I guess he is remorseful for Barry for now, at least. And then we do see Nora or Cisco vibe with Caitlin, and we do see that Caitlin's mother was the one that forged the death certificate. So that's kind of the end of that little side story of the episode. And I guess it leaves off on a cliffhanger. And I believe Caitlin's mother is going to be in the next episode, although I'm not completely sure. And we leave off the episode with Team Flash listening to the police footage of the cicada breathing, and then it's basically that cliffhanger of Nora. At least it seems like Nora knows who Cicada is, and the big cliffhanger is like, who's Cicada? Barry says, who's Cicada? And we actually do see Nora kind of like shake her head or something, like she's bad news or something. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah. So that's basically the main review of me kind of breaking it down, and my overall thoughts this episode. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I did not like this episode that much. It was just a very forgettable episode because not all that much really happened. Because even like the villain of the week wasn't really that entertaining. The side plots didn't really matter. The only real like main part of it that I did like was the final fight. That was basically it. But other than that, it was pretty underwhelming episode. My ranking of this episode would probably be like maybe a 4.5 out of 10, I would say. Maybe even a 5 out of 10 at most. But yeah. Basically what I didn't like is just them dragging out the episode to 42 minutes. That's the biggest problem with these TV shows, is that they have things like the side stories that don't really mean anything, but they kind of need those unnecessary subplots or side stories to fill up the rest of the episode's time. And that's what kind of annoyed me of season 3 and 4, especially season 4, because season 4 had so much filler, and that was the main problem with that, is that they just try to fill up all 23 episodes, which is why I'm slightly okay with them doing 22 episodes this season, because I'm just hoping there's not as much filler as there was in I really hope we don't get to see that in season 5. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts. The cons are basically like 90% of the episode. But however, I am really looking forward to the next episode because it's supposed to be called The Death of Vibe. And this has people very concerned about it, but I'm honestly pretty excited about it when it premieres next week. So, yeah. Nothing too much to talk about. I will be planning on making other videos. There's some more crossover images that were released. I'll be talking about that. And I am planning on that Spider-Man video. I have no idea when that will premiere, or not premiere, but be released. So I'm gonna probably release it roughly around next week, around Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this little review. Tell me what you guys thought of the episode and what are your cicada theories, and also I want you guys to answer this question: do you think Cisco will die? 100%, at least permanently for this or for the rest of the season? Or do you think it will be temporary, or do you think he will just lose his power? So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Keep a little discussion among the Flash community, and yeah. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content, and yeah, I'm going to probably do reviews like this for the rest of the Arrowverse shows. I'm not too sure about Titans yet, because I'm going to try doing reactions for that show. If I can't, if it gets blocked by WB, I'll just do reviews for that, and I'm gonna try to do reactions for Daredevil. So, yeah. And if that doesn't pan out well either, I'll just do reviews for that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I already went through that outro, and I'll see you next time.